Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Senior Living. We're glad you chose to join us. It's truly, truly springtime here in the Verde Valley, and there are so many things for us to take advantage of and so many opportunities for us to enjoy this great place that we live. And we have a great show lined up for you today. We've got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to hear about Sizzlin Salsa 2012 in Old Town Cottonwood. We're going to find out about the Sedona Arts Center and all of the different classes and the different festivals that they have going on. We're also going to be entertained by a great acoustic soloist. He'll be joining us a little bit later. And we're going to visit with the folks from the Pink Heels Tour. That's a great event, a great organization, and we're going to find out more about that. So far in Senior Living, we've discussed some things like estate planning, and we've discussed living wills. We've discussed a lot of issues that we'll face at some point. And regardless of whether or not we have an opinion, we've made our decisions, the issues surrounding the right to die are surfacing and resurfacing over the decades. It's come about in many different ways. Our first guest today is going to identify one of those resources. That is the local chapter of the Arizona Compassion and Choices organization. A lot of information on what's going on with that right to choose, the right to die issue locally and nationally. Giselle Suarez is the chapter leader of our local chapter, incoming chapter leader.
Yes.
And got a few things to tell us about. First of all, welcome. It's nice to have you here, and I understand
it's a pleasure to be here.
You're relatively new to the Verde Valley,
yes.
And welcome here also.
Thank you.
The Compassion and Choices chapter here locally, has it been active for quite a while?
Well, I just stepped into it recently, and I know that Deb Darby, who's been running the show here on this part of the world, is she's been doing it for 5 or 6 years. So this whole world is very new to me as far as the Compassion and Choices and what they offer, and that it's such a big national nonprofit organization with so many resources of information, support, education, guidance. So I stepped into it because being at my mom's bedside as she made her transition, it really opened this world of death to me in a way that I had never even imagined was possible. She had a brain tumor, so she died young, but to be there and to witness what death can be completely just made me see life in this whole new way. So I started to really get on this sort of passionate calling about shifting the consciousness that our societies have around death and dying, because by bringing that into a new light and talking about it in a way that is open, respected, lighter, that the fears and the grief and even the guilt almost of dying is transformed, it's released. And then we can really be present in our lives as we're living it, and also be present and for those that are dying, or those that want to die, because they have that choice. It's a very interesting thing in this country, and I think in the larger part of the world, with the two most natural common events of our lives, birth, and the other side of that coin, death. There's so much controversy and so much, the institutions have become such a ruling factor in that, the most natural processes of life, and which is the same side of two sides of the same coin, like I said, which start to take away our own power in that, our own saying in that. When birth moved into the hospital, and now death being into the hospitals and in the system, it gets very messy and foggy as about what is our right, what can we do about it, and to be able to die as same as being born. I mean, you can apply all this to birth as well. To die with dignity, to die with peace, to die in your own surroundings and settings, how you choose it, you know.
I think one of the things, as I was looking up some information, one of the things that I noticed, first of all, there have been many surveys done, particularly in the state of Arizona, and in all of the surveys that I looked at, the majority of the people taking the survey were in favor of, to put it very simply, the right to choose.
Yes.
And I think becoming educated about all the options is one of the primary issues. I know that the Compassion and Choices organization has a lot of different different ways that you can educate yourself, and I know that your chapter has meetings every so often, and there is one coming up where some of these discussions can happen. Do you fill us in on that?
Sure. Locally, which is the Verde Valley, we have meetings every 2 to 3 months. And now that I'm the chapter leader, that I'll be able to say when those are, you know, and it's about time and interest and all that from the others, which I think the interest and the commitment is very, very present there. So our next one is April 28th on Saturday, and it's from 10 to 11:30 at the Sedona Community Center. So I'll just say the address for that right now while I have it. It's 2645 Melody Lane in Sedona. And we have a local website, which is www.choicesarizona.org. And there you get the local the state, local activities, events, information that are happening here in Arizona. And then there's a link to the Compassion and Choices national website, which is compassionandchoices.org. And there they let you know what's happening nationwide. There's a big Compassion and Choices event happening in Chicago in June, and there's all kinds of interesting speakers and medical people coming there to really exciting stuff. So if you want to become a member of the Compassion and Choices, then you can just go on their website, and then you get the magazine, and all these things will be, you know, come to you at your home.
I guess I just I want to emphasize the importance of educating ourselves in terms of what is going on out there. There are, as I just became familiar with the issues, there are differences between what they called euthanasia, basically, versus right now the states that have legalized any of it, they're physician assisted. They're all basically, you still have to make this choice and take the action yourselves. So to understand all of those differences and where we can make an informed decision on how we would want to, what level of involvement we would want to have. There are resources that you have available where people could go and get a little bit more educated in those terms.
Definitely, yes, what your rights are. Also to have a living will drawn up, for example, how to go about that, how to make sure that it's honored when you pass, power of attorney, all these kinds of things that, you know, these were all like foreign language to me until my mom got sick, and then it was like, it was very overwhelming if you don't really know what it's about. And one of the things, and one of the reasons I'm so passionate about joining this organization is that for me, it gives me a platform to talk about death. Because by talking about it, it doesn't become such a scary, overwhelming thing. It becomes almost a part of our natural flow of life. So this is what this next meeting will be about. I will be the guest this time, and I will speak about my experience and speak about a project that I'm working on as well. It's an artistic project connected to the death and dying process. So
excellent.
Yes.
Giselle Suarez, thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us some options, and we will keep everyone informed on the next issues. Stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
The Vaughn Law offices in Cottonwood have been serving the legal needs of Northern Arizona since it was established in the year 2000. With experience in legal matters from criminal and civil courtroom litigation to corporate and personal, the attorneys and staff use their core values to support their clients through any legal situation. Visit online at vaughn-law.com to learn more about the Vaughn Law offices, a proud supporter of the Verde Valley community.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome back to Senior Living, and as you can see, we have prettied up our studio here just a little bit. Our next guest is with the Sedona Arts Center, brings imagination to life, and we're very fortunate to have them as part of our community. We've got a lot going on, and we're glad to welcome Debbie Winslow to the show. Thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thank you.
You've got a lot going on in the very near future. Right around the corner is the fine art auction that we all kind of look forward to.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. We did our first one last year, and it will be an annual event. We have a lot of different things, and I just brought a few things with me today that's just a sample of some of the things that will be in our auction, and want to make sure that everyone knows it's not just high-end, very expensive art that you can't afford. We have all kinds of things available, and including the necklace that I'm wearing right now.
That's beautiful.
This was done by one of our artists. Her name is Komala, and she does this beautiful beadwork and beautiful jewelry. So this will be in the silent auction and available. And then also this little piece right here, it was donated by a collector, and we didn't know what it was at first, but what it is actually a little teapot.
Oh my word.
I didn't know anything about this, and it had a little, note in there saying what it was. So went and looked it up. It's called a Yijing teapot, and that means that it comes from that particular part of China.
Wow.
And this really is a work of art. As I did my research on the teapots, this is the only one I've seen that doesn't have the traditional teapot look with the handle.
Exactly.
It really is a piece of art, and they have a lot of symbolism and things that they use. So basically the whole thing looks like an eggplant.
Yes.
And then if you look at the bottom, the feet here, and this is my little inventory number, but the feet here are, each thing is different. This little snail and a seed and a water chestnut, and so it's all symbolic of the area.
Correct.
So this is something.
It has a story.
Right.
Exactly.
And it is a signed piece, although the signature is illegible. So that's one piece. This painting right here will be in the silent auction also. And it was done by an artist by the name of Maggie Renner Hellman. She's been in our Sedona Plein Air Festival, which takes place in the fall the last couple of years. And this is actually a piece that she did in 2010 during the festival. And she donated that to us because the auction is a fundraiser for the Sedona Arts Center.
And the fundraising goes toward?
It goes toward the operations of the Arts Center and all the expenses that we have to run the Arts Center. And at the center we have a School of the Arts, so we have all kinds of workshops and classes, field expeditions. We also do arts immersion programs that take place in the public schools to supplement their curriculum there. And so it helps to pay for all of that.
Now there is a gallery at the center, am I correct?
Correct,
okay.
yes.
And are local artists featured? Are there artists from all over the country entry? How do you decide what gets placed in your gallery?
It's actually a juried gallery.
Okay.
And it's a membership. We're a membership organization, so you have to be a member of the Arts Center first, and then you can apply and be juried into the gallery. And we do that process twice a year, in January and July. And all of that information is available on our website at SedonaArtsCenter.com.
Excellent. Now, the classes that you were just talking about, are those open to the public, or do you also have to be a member of the...
No, the classes are open to the public, and we do attract people from all over the world. I think the furthest place was someone came from Bali.
Oh, wow.
For the Natalie Goldberg workshop that we had several years ago. And but we have people come from Europe, from South Africa, from Australia, Canada, as well as all over the country to come and take workshops with us. Now, we have intensive workshops. They're 3 to 5 days, usually all day long. We also have what we call year-round classes. Those are more for the people who live here in the Verde Valley in Sedona. Those classes will typically meet once a week for maybe 2 or 3 hours. Once a week for a period of time, and anybody can take classes. And I like to tell people, don't be afraid.
I think many people, I've known a few people that have taken some of the classes. They're locals here, but the thing that they did come away with was, I'm no longer afraid to attempt this. I can do this.
Right.
It's well worth it. So coming up, the auction is May...
It is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. We are part of the Cinco de Mayo festivities that are taking place in Sedona. So we will be previewing the auction starting on May 2nd at the Arts Center, so May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And actually, the 2nd and 3rd, it's 10 to 5 each day, so you can come and preview, and you can start bidding on the silent auction items.
On the silent auction items, okay.
Right. Then on Saturday, the auctions will open at 10 o'clock. The silent auction will close at 3:30, and then our live auction will commence at 4 o'clock. And so we'll have we have 25 items that will go into the live auction. This is actually a piece here that will be in the live auction. That's a sculpture done by James Muir, and he is a Sedona sculptor. So there's a pair of these, and I only brought the one because I didn't think we'd have enough room for both of them, but they're lovely, and they will go as a pair in the lot.
Well, at least we got to see it. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a great representation of the work that's going to be available. That's for sure. Beyond the auction in May, you mentioned the Plein Air Festival. And what other is there anything major coming up before the Fall Plein Air Festival? Or
actually, in June we have the Photo Fest.
Okay.
And so that is several days that we are dedicating to the art of photography. And Thursday, June 7th, is a full day of free seminars. And you don't need to pay for it, but it's nice if you can go online and sign up for it, or give us a call at the Arts Center.
Register for it.
And register for it, so we know how many people to expect. But we'll have all different kinds of instructors on that day doing different seminars all day long. Then we will have some free presentations in the evenings, and then workshops in the mornings with 3 different instructors for that.
A reminder too, it looks to me like for the Photo Fest, there still is time to enter, it looks like, if you wanted to enter your photography in the fest.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We do have an open competition, and there is time to get your entries in. You have until April 23rd, which is coming up. Yes. So, and all of that information is online as well at SedonaPhotoFest.com.
Okay.
We have several different websites. Our main one is SedonaArtsCenter.com. You can find everything there. We have SedonaArtAuction.com. That's about the auction. SedonaPhotoFest.com about the Photo Fest.
Well, that's what we'll remind everybody then. Fine Art Auction, May 5th. Photo Fest coming up in June, you said, right?
In June. Correct.
And Plein Air Festival in October.
In October.
And all of that information is available in more detail on SedonaArtsCenter.com.
Right.
Thank you, Debbie, for joining us.
Thank you,
Pam. It's been a pleasure.
This has been really fun.
We'll check it out. Invite everybody to stay tuned. We're going to take a break, and we'll come right back.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us again today. Last year, I believe, I'm going to go out on a limb because I don't know this, but last year, I believe, was our the first visit to the Verde Valley by second visit to the Verde Valley by the Pink Heels Tour. And our next guest has been involved with that since the beginning. Rosemarie Shemaitis, who's involved in a lot of different things around the community, and we appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah.
And the tour is back, but before we talk about the 2012 visit, I wanted to first of all say congratulations. I know that after last year's fundraising events, the organization has been able to officially help out a couple of different people.
Yes, as of last year, with the total funds that we were raised over the last 2 years, we had a little over $9,000. So what we've done is we've handed out applications to 2 women that we were able to fund their needs for up to $1,000. And between yesterday and today, I'm sorry to say, I handed out another 3 applications. This fund is for only the women of the Verde Valley, with cancer issues. So it's, it's very close to home.
And you're right. We're very fortunate that the organization is there. Pink Heels is truly a benefit to the community. It's unfortunate that there are that many people that do need the help, but they do.
Yes,
so to have this available is pretty wonderful. Tell me a little bit more. I know last year I thought it was very exciting to have we had 3 days worth of visits.
Yes.
And I guess, given the demand, we're not going to get them for 3 days. But
no,
we get
not this year.
Yeah, so tell us about the event this year.
Okay, well, we're still having participation from several of the communities. We have the Clarkdale Fire Department, Cottonwood Fire Department, Montezuma Rimrock Fire Department, Jerome Fire Department, and then Food City has been, with us since last year, helping out, and we're going to have the event in their parking lot, as a matter of fact. So we're going to have participation by all these fire departments, and then of course the town of Jerome through me is going to be there, helping set this up. And our goal is to, raise as much money as we can for the women of the Verde Valley. That's it,
That's a pretty singular mission, but a pretty important mission.
Well, we've had people that have, wanted to have like the war on cancer for research, whatever. It's like, no, this money isn't going anywhere except to our neighbors, our friends here in the Verde Valley.
I was listening to a couple of stories. Believe it or not, people are talking about it, and I've heard it's people. The people that you've been able to help so far are friends of people that live in our community.
Excellent.
So it's just heartwarming to hear all of that. What can What can people do to help get ready for? I know that the kickoff event is Friday, July 27th at the Food City Shopping Center, and we're going to have the pink fire truck.
Yes.
And what else can people do to get involved and to help raise funds for the Pink Heels?
What we're doing now is finishing up, finalizing a design for this year's T-shirt. Okay, so this was from the first year, which is this one, and then this is one that we sell throughout, the year. And then we had another T-shirt last year, and then this year we've come up with another, design, showcasing the sponsors for this year. So we'll be selling those in various places before the event. Okay, the shirts will be $15. All the money is going to the Pink Heels, the Sedona Verde Valley Firemen's Charity, and the Sedona Verde Valley Firemen's Association donated us the money to get the initial order of T-shirts. So yes, exactly. So once we sell out with the original order, then we'll order more and keep doing it up until the time of the event. We also have a donation form that if people wanted to email me or call me at in Jerome, the phone number there is 928-634-7943, and I can email you this donation form, and this allows you to make a donation directly to the fund, okay, and then you can have it restricted as a memorial or an honorary gift, or just because you want to help, so that's a benefit. The other thing is to come out, to the event. We're going to have vendors with food, several restaurants, I believe, in the area. Yes.
I take it this will be for some of the kids.
Yeah, actually, this was from last year's event, but I saved it because I save everything.
I do like it.
And,
very fun.
Yeah, so I don't know if we'll have them again this year, but we were giving them out to the young ones, and we will have a tent set up for the survivors, and again, it's to honor and support them. We'll have the pink fire trucks, and we encourage everybody who is a survivor or who's going through cancer issues right now, or family and friends of these people, to sign the trucks. Each truck ends up, I think, with over 100,000 signatures before they clean it up and then prepare it for the next round of signatures.
So, and that travels the country, if I understand
we're the
correctly.
kickoff event for this huge tour. So from Cottonwood, they'll be going up to Flagstaff, and then from Flagstaff, I guess, to Colorado, and they basically make a loop around the country. Chicago, Minneapolis, Texas, Georgia, they go everywhere. And it's so cool because it's all volunteers that drive these trucks. And so, like, we may have people that have flown in from like, say, Minneapolis, okay? So the tour starts in Phoenix. So they'll fly to Phoenix, they'll drive with the trucks until maybe they get to their town in Minnesota, or wherever, and then somebody else will get on, and then it continues. So there's constant on and off with all these volunteers, and actually the Pink Heels will, the firemen for, the group, or the pink trucks, I should say, they'll be selling also T-shirts, hats, and other things, and that's what supports their tour, because all these volunteers, they don't have to pay to get to where they're going, or coming from, whatever. So, I mean, it really works, and then they help support, like, our event, and there's all these fundraising events that will be going on around the country, centered around these pink trucks.
Excellent. Join the tour. Make sure that you plan to be at the kickoff event on July 27th. Before that, there are several different ways you can contact. Any of the fire departments can help you out and get you donation forms. And let's make this a real kickoff tour. We're really excited about that.
Thank you.
Rosemarie,
thank you so
thanks so much.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you in.
Thank you all.
Yes. Don't forget Pink Heels. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Vaughn Law offices in Cottonwood have been serving the legal needs of northern Arizona since it was established in the year 2000. With experience in legal matters from criminal and civil courtroom litigation to corporate and personal, the attorneys and staff use their core values to support their clients through any legal situation. Visit online at vaughn-law.com to learn more about the Vaughn Law offices, a proud supporter of the Verde Valley community.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back. Glad you chose to stay with us. And we are going to hear about an event coming up here right around the corner that has been around for a little while, and I am truly looking forward to it. Little disappointed we don't have samples, but I would have gotten to enjoy them and you wouldn't have. So we'll hang on for the Sizzlin Salsa 2012 in Old Town Cottonwood. And we are joined right now by Josh Bartosh, a familiar face in Old Town Cottonwood. Welcome. Thank you for making it down here with us. And we are truly right around the corner. So tell us, I don't have a whole lot of information about all of the fun for the day of the event, which is, by the way, April 28th, as I said, in Old Town Cottonwood.
Correct.
All right.
Well, thank you. We are doing Sizzlin Salsa this year in Old Town Cottonwood, again, April 28th. We're going to start the event off at 3 p.m. We're going to do some salsa tasting with some area restaurants, those in the Verde Valley and some surrounding communities as well.
How fun.
I don't want to mention anyone specifically because I don't want them to feel an extra edge.
Okay, so that just means that everybody's got to come down to find out where all the salsa's coming from.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So we're going to do some salsa tasting, let folks kind of mill about Old Town there and see some of the new shops and wine rooms and things that they haven't seen since their last visit, because it seems like everybody who comes down kind of remarks at how different Old Town Cottonwood is since the last time they were there. So we're going to have the salsa tasting event until 6 p.m. We're going to have a little bit of music throughout the day and some different kinds of entertainment, maybe some ballet folklorico and things of that nature. And then also we're going to have some different live music this year is a big part of what we're doing. And we're going to have some Latin roots bands coming in. As well as some rock and roll bands, so it's gonna be good. 6 p.m. we're gonna start off with a trio that is good friends of mine. They're from Southern California. They're called the Moonlight Trio. Really talented guys. Latin music with some rock and roll, rockabilly roots, and then kind of our local favorites here, even though they're prodigal sons. The Cadillac Angels are gonna close out the night. And play their brand of 50s rockabilly style music, and so it should be a really good time. We're really kind of trying to take this event to another level this year and grow it in a way that makes it more sustainable and more region specific for this area.
Well, first of all, I think the addition of some Latin flavored music is going to be a lot of fun, and there are some great musicians. is the music going to be at a particular venue, or is it going to be outside?
Everything's happening there on Main Street. We're going to have
Excellent.
Main Street closed from Pinal down to Cactus. So, you know, the areas around the restaurants will still be available for parking and things, but we want to keep that area for the pedestrians as well, so they can come on down and then have the stage area where they can watch the music, have a little beer garden out there as well, so people can enjoy their adult beverages and watch the music.
Everybody will have something to do, it sounds like to me. And just a reminder for everyone, I know we try to stress this as often as possible when we talk about Old Town. The fact that the road is closed off does not, there is plenty of parking on the side streets and in behind some of the businesses. Go to the either oldtown.org or the Chamber of Commerce website, and you will be able, they'll explain all of that, but there'll be plenty of parking. And the one thing that's true, and I know I've talked to, whenever we get to visit Old Town, one of there's something new all the time, and it's so exciting. I know the olive oil traders just moved into a different storefront. Correct. And there's so much going on all the time. It's pretty exciting. So what a festival like this does for us is give us another excuse to go down and see what's happening down there.
And it's funny because that is what tends to happen, is when you're in your own town, you need that kind of excuse to get back to what you know and go down and see it. And it's been funny being involved with Rendezvous and then our own business there in Old Town Bonnelay. People come in and they say, gosh, you know, it's been 6 months since I've been down, and this and this has changed. And it is funny how it takes that little something sometimes to get us out of our own doorway.
And it does, and I'm down there frequently, but I usually have a specific mission, or I'm going to a specific place, and then when I do get the time or make the time to wander a little bit, you go, oh wow, look, this is kind of fun. And it's such a great area in the Verde Valley that we can really be proud of. I think that many of the merchants that are in Old Town, and many of the merchants that are simply supportive of the revitalization that's happened down there, have made it all possible, and we're pretty fortunate. How long is the Salsa Festival? It's been several years, hasn't it?
It has been, and the exact dates I don't know, but yeah, I know it's been at least a few years and I think it's been going.
And I think it'll be fun to see where this year's going to take us, because again, everybody's made such an effort to give us good, valid, fun reasons to be outdoors and in Old Town, and just to enjoy, whether it's to shop locally, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of folks up from Phoenix and down from Flag, and I'm sure we'll have quite a variety of people to check out all the music. I think it's going to be a really exciting. There's a lot going on April 28th, and that's just one of those things that we can all take advantage of. I really appreciate you taking the time to come down and give us a little bit more information. Remember the Chamber website, the Old Town Association website, or right on our website, myradioplace.com. You can find out all the details. And thank you again, Josh, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to have you in here. And we'll be back right after this.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
If looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Well, I was down in New Orleans, everything's fine. All them cats drinking that wine, drinking that mist of pure delight. Now when they get drunk, they singing all night, drinking wine, spooty, drinking
Viticulture is defined very, very loosely as the cultivation or culture of growing grapes, primarily for the wine industry. Here in the Verde Valley, we've redefined the definition just a little bit to include the burgeoning economic boon that it's giving to our community. For some of us, the wine industry has simply added social opportunities that we're able to take advantage of, but the numbers associated with the industry are staggering. There are 13 wineries, 14 vineyards, 10 tasting rooms. The wine industry has provided close to 200 jobs in the Verde Valley alone, and the industry is contributing over $30 million to our local economy. Part of the reason is, of course, just the beautiful, beautiful climate here in the Verde Valley. But the other part of the reason is all of the efforts that have been put in by many members of our community organizations. And we are very, very happy to have join us today, President of the Verde Valley Wine Consortium, Mr. Tom Pitts. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
We're particularly interested in the fact that right around the corner is our first ever Verde Valley Wine Symposium being held at the hotel at Cliff Castle Casino on April 28th. Can you fill us in on some of the details?
Oh no, I'd hate to do that.
Oh darn, okay, never mind. Oh.
No, this is really exciting. We're billing it as the first annual. Our intention is to do this as an annual affair. We're bringing in speakers from around, well, some of them from all over the country, to take a look in kind of a one-day setting to kind of catch people up a little bit. The overarching theme is building a wine community, which is exactly what we've done here. This is never a one person or one organization kind of show. What we've done is we've kind of broken down a lot of the barriers and brought a whole lot of people to the table. Right. So as I say, the overarching theme of the symposium portion is going to be building a wine community. So we're doing 4 panel discussions. The first one is building a local wine community. And so we've got some of our local leaders. Doug Bartosh, the city manager from Cottonwood, will be on that panel. Tom Schumacher, the dean of the college, will be part of that panel. We'll take a look at how do we bring these energies together, how do we create a community, a true community of people sharing and participating, and take a look at what's happened in Old Town, take a look at what's happened with some of these other parts of the community. We've had a major impact. Our second one will be talking about dealing with the aspect of creating a public sector community. How do we bring these other organizations and energies to bear? The good news is we have the ear, and we're involved with the governor, with the House, and with the Senate, and with all of these state agencies. We're bringing in the chief lobbyist for the wine industry from Washington, from an organization called Wine America that represents wineries all over the United States and deals with legislative interaction and so on with Congress in Washington. Right. She's a wonderful speaker and a very powerful figure, obviously, to handle all those things. On that panel, we'll also have Keith Watkins, who's the Senior Vice President of the Arizona Commerce Authority. We recently received a grant from the Commerce Authority to expand some of the winery activity here. So we're seeing direct interaction with the state, which we're very, very excited about. Sherry Henry will be part of that panel. She's the head of the Arizona Office of Tourism. You mentioned that figure a while ago. That $30 million was from the tourism sector only, and it was a study done by Northern Arizona University. And to take a look at how much energy, how much involvement, how many people are we bringing to the area. Most of us who have at least visited one of those tasting rooms have seen what kind of traffic we're generating, but to realize that that translated to $30 million a year in new money in this economy, it's just astonishing. So we're very pleased to have those folks. Our third panel will be talking about building a heart-healthy community. Most people, I think, are aware that a number of studies now have shown that red wine in particular and heart health seem to go hand in hand. It started with what they called the French paradox. They looked at all those rich foods in France and said, how come there's no big heart disease problem?
Right.
Well, guess what? They're having a glass of wine with that dinner, and it made a big difference. So there's been an enormous amount of research and a number of studies that have brought that to the fore. So we're working with the Verde Valley Medical Center with some cardiologists and so on to put a panel together with that. Our fourth panel of the day will be dealing with where do we go from here. So we have a number of our winemakers, a number of our leaders in the industry here will be participating in discussing how far have we come. You mentioned some of the figures. Some of them are just staggering. We did 2 major studies that we participated in from the consortium viewpoint. The first one was a study we did with the University of Arizona through their Ag Extension Office. This was, God, it feels like ancient history now. It was 2010. Correct. And you have to understand what they're doing wasn't legal till 2006. All the way back to Prohibition, Arizona had missed the boat and forgot to make it legal when they overturned Prohibition. And so nobody's growing grapes and nobody's making wine, even though this is a great place to do it. There were actually more wine grapes grown in Arizona and New Mexico prior to Prohibition than there were in California. And when they overturned it here and said, you can't do it, people said, okay, and they quit. Well, Prohibition here started 5 years before the U.S., and so it was a long time before it got overturned. Now, it became legal in 2006, and people can see what's happening. It's just exploded. We started the consortium in 2008 to see if we could lend a hand in trying to grow this industry and bring some energy to the table. And so we did the study with the U of A, and in 2010, they were already contributing $25 million to the state economy. Right. They'd created at that time 124 jobs, over $2 million in annual payroll, and just growing like crazy. They were spending $6.5 million in company-to-company expenditures for equipment and all that sort of thing, spending over $3 million a year planting new vineyards. Right. At that time, we had 78 acres in production in the Verde Valley. A year later, we had 150. By this summer, we'll double that again. So I mean, it's just exploding with new people coming in, new investment, and we wind up with these lovely vineyards. Exactly. The one we're standing in is part of the Yavapai College. This is the first acre of grapes. Right. These are 2-year-old vines that we're standing in the middle of. And of course, we're just coming out of the winter period, so pretty soon these will be much bigger and much bushier. And right now, today, the land is being cleared for another 3 acres of planting. That will be planted on May the 5th, and again, community involvement. We've got people from all over the Verde Valley participating and helping to do that planting.
That's right, and I've seen there's several hours during that day. That's the first of the Plant a Vine vineyard. And
you can sponsor a vine.
You can
put your name on it, watch it.
Exactly. Back to the wine symposium, I did want to mention the day wraps up with a wine tasting and painted barrel auction. And what else is going on?
Actually, that's the middle piece. Okay. We've got 3 sections to it. The first part is the symposium, the panel discussions. We'll have registration and kind of a mix and mingle at 9 a.m. in the morning. At 10 o'clock, we start those sessions, and we serve lunch as part of that session. Great. Then at 3 o'clock, we do a wine tasting with wineries all over the area participating, and we'll be auctioning off the painted wine barrels that we've all enjoyed throughout the Verde Valley over the last year. Proceeds from that, by the way, there'll be a little bit set aside to do the next round, because we're going to replace all those barrels and hire a number of new artists and so on to do that. And the net proceeds go to support the Yavapai College Foundation to pay for the viticulture program here. Anyway, the third piece of after our wine tasting and the barrel auction, we're going to have a dinner with some special wines and a keynote speaker to kind of wrap everything up. So it's going to be a full day session to look at the development, the activity that's here, the auction of the barrels. We'll have a silent auction fundraiser for the consortium, and just make it a one-day program to capture the essence of what we've done here with the wine industry.
Tom, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Come on in, the water's fine.
I'm thinking it feels pretty doggone good. The wine's fine too. We will be back right after this break. We'll join you back in the studio.
Well, from the basement to the rooftop, everybody could hear me shout, give me that wine. Oh, give me that wine. Yeah, give me that wine.
Hi, I'm Ben Bueller, owner and funeral director at Bueller Funeral Homes. My grandfather once told me, you can serve a family selfishly once, or treat them right and serve that family for generations.
Bueller Funeral Home has been serving Arizona families for 3 generations with affordable and reasonable services. Bueller Funeral Home feels a funeral should be as unique and personal as the individual it honors, whatever your choices, your traditions, or your budget.
Now, some action from the courts. Billie Jean King renewing her rivalry with Arthritis. First set, furious volley, and right to the net for a winner. Beautiful forehand there. Arthritis, stunned. And here, match point. Billie Jean with the ace, taking it in straight sets. Afterwards, a jubilant Billie Jean King.
Tennis is a weapon for me with arthritis. There's nothing like it for me to hit a ball, run to the ball, anytime, any court. I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your weapon against arthritis? Find out at fightarthritispain.org.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
With 2 wheels rolling through the night to an unknown destination. Don't know where we're going, but that's alright, 'cause we don't need no particular location. It's bitter and it's sweet, this thing we've got to beat, trying so hard to hold us both down. But baby, we'll just keep on rolling till we smash it to pieces, 'cause that old demon is a clown. I've been hearing about how we used to be, how we would never make it through. So from now on, I'm not listening to anyone but me and you. The people don't stare at the cars passing by like I do when they're all standing around. But I see something beautiful about the way that they move. Now my eyes, they're fixed to the ground. It's bitter and it's sweet, it's sad but it's true. Most people are much different than me and you. But this too shall pass. I wouldn't trade a single blade of grass for the 9 to 5 they're gonna live through. I've been hearing about how it's supposed to be. I've been observing all the rules. So from now on, I'm not listening to anyone but me and you, babe. It's me and you, babe. Me and you, babe. It's me and you. I've been hearing about how it's supposed to be. I've been observing all the rules. So from now on, I'm not listening to anyone but me and you. With 2 wheels rolling through the night to an unknown destination.
Very, very nice.
Thank you
very
so much.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alex Ogburn, everyone, entertainer, solo acoustic entertainer, and new addition to our very own Verde Valley music scene.
Yes.
And we are very, very glad to have you. Great song.
Thank you so much.
Give me a little bit, where'd the song come from?
That song came from, I was in college in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, going to Middle Tennessee State University, which has a recording school that's near Nashville. And I was studying music business, and I met this young lady named Jessie Alexander, and we had the dreams of becoming, you know, singer-songwriters and performing and doing our thing. And you know, a lot of the faculty there, just, you know, were very discouraging, saying, you know, not many people make it, and so that was sort of my song for me and her, saying that we're gonna just break on through and just do our thing, you know, we're gonna make it for sure. So, and she's made it. She wrote a song for the Miley Cyrus movie, and got a really big cut. She got lots of ASCAP awards for it, and she's become quite the songwriter. She's quite well known in Nashville now, and very, very proud and happy for her.
Well, and as are we, and you've made it too, because you're right here in our very own Verde Valley, and I got to tell you, there's not a better place to live, so I hope you enjoy it.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
You know, I've been seeing your name, and I know you are fairly new. How long have you been here?
I've been in the area, and so I moved to Sedona in 2006, but I just moved to Cottonwood less than 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I'm in Cottonwood now.
Yeah. Welcome.
I love it here.
It's a great place.
It's a beautiful place.
But you're still playing all over the Verde Valley, as
yes.
I've been trying to keep up with you in the different nightlife schedules, and you're all over the place. I know very soon you're over at the Martini.
I play there every other Tuesday. I just played there last night.
Okay.
I play once a month at Red's at Sedona Rouge. I play once a month, a weekend at the Full Moon in the village of Oak Creek. If you go to my little webpage at alexogburn.com, it's alexogburnmusic.com actually,
right.
But you can get to it either way. I'll have a listing of my shows there. You can click on and find the shows, and there's also you can go to reverbnation.com / my name and see a little thing, but yeah.
And I think while we've been talking, we put up alexogburnmusic.com, and you can get to all of his schedules and everything from there in Reverb Nation, so that you'll definitely be able to find him. And
any good web designers out there want to give me a break? I need to get the page up. So shameless plug there.
Yeah, well, we all need to pull together and do
absolutely.
All this kind of
you got to
stuff.
put it out there. Put it out there.
When I first talked to you, you mentioned something that I've got a little bit of a soft spot for. You're going to here in not too long. You're going to be playing here in Cottonwood for a fairly big event, I understand. Am I correct?
That's true, yes. Joe Neary is doing his, I think his third or fourth
yeah.
Bob Dylan show.
The Birthday Bash?
The Birthday Bash for Bob Dylan. And I saw it last year and I was like, oh, I missed it. And then I got in touch with Joe. We did a blues show at the Sedona Performers Guild recently. Dan Bresnan actually put it together. Brilliant. He did such a great job. And anyway, Joe was part of that. He played and we all got to meet each other and we rehearsed a few times together. So we became friends and he asked me if I'd be interested and I said, absolutely. I love Bob Dylan. And so I'm going to do a couple of Bob Dylan songs, a couple of my favorite ones. And I really look forward to it. We just actually did a blues festival show this last weekend. I got to play outside as people were coming in, so that was really neat.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That I heard it was just hugely successful, and which it usually is. And you're hanging out with a pretty high-powered group of musicians there. I've got to meet a few of them, and that's pretty exciting. And it's pretty exciting for us as being able to take advantage of all of this. I've told so many people we have such gems here in the Verde Valley that sometimes we don't really identify as well as we should. So it's nice to be able to point out the Bob Dylan Birthday Bash is going to be at the Old Town Center for the Arts, as was the Blues Festival, but so much going on down there, and then the opportunity to go out on any given night of the week and catch great entertainers like yourself in some of our local places. It's very exciting.
Thank you so much.
We're kind of glad you didn't make it into Nashville. We're kind of glad you settled right in down here.
I'm very happy to be here.
What else about Alex Ogburn do you want our viewers to know about?
Well, I love what I do. I encourage you to come. Please come to a show. I've got over 350 songs that I've accumulated into my repertoire. And I play everything from 60s and 70s singer-songwriter stuff, a lot of original material, and a lot of blues. And just thank you for supporting live music. It's a wonderful thing. And if you look in the kudos, I'm usually listed every week as to where I'm playing in the kudos and the scene, also from the Red Rock News.
Well, let's hear some more.
Well,
Alex Ogburn.
Thank you. Let me leave you with some blues. I got to play some blues for you. My baby, Lord, she don't come. I see for my baby, ooh, Lord, and she don't come. don't love me, if she gets unruly and said she don't love me, I got my 30-20. I will cut that girl half in three. I gotta shoot my pistol, baby. I'm gonna shoot my Gatling gun. I'm gonna shoot my pistol, baby. Ooh, I'm gonna shoot my Gatling gun. You made me love you, baby. Now your man is gone. Now, baby, please, honey, where'd you stay last night? I said, baby, please tell me, ooh, honey, where'd you stay last night? You came home all hair tangled, baby, and your clothes don't fit you right. And if I send for my baby, Lord, if she don't come, I sip on my baby, ooh, Lord, if she don't come. All the doctors in Cottonwood couldn't help my pretty baby, baby none. Oh, baby, I wish you'd come on back home.
Wow.